live with studios in Midland and Odessa. You're watching First Alert 7 News at 9 on the CW West Texas.
It's still important just to help those in need.
Day-to-day needs, that could be hygiene items, that could be anywhere from, them needing covers, them needing extra clothes.
Anything that you need to start over.
The second annual Fill the Ring fundraiser at Rough House MMA has taken place just in time for the holiday season. In just a few minutes, how the gym chooses to give back to the community. Thanks so much for joining us here for First Alert 7 News on the CW, and thanks for joining us live on the First Alert 7 YouTube. I'm Mary Kate Hamilton, and we start tonight tracking crime. Odessa police is asking for help locating this woman. She stole 2 iPhones off the counter at the DK on East 52nd Street. She then left the gas station in an Infiniti SUV, which you can see there. Anyone who recognizes her or the vehicle is encouraged to call Odessa Crime Stoppers at 432-333-TIPS. Ector County ISD officials have confirmed to First Alert 7 News that a child was hit by a car this morning. This happened at Blackshear Elementary School in Odessa. The accident happened when a first grade student was getting out of the car and was hit as their parent was moving up in the drop-off line. He was hurt and was taken to the hospital. Those are all of the details we have at this time, and we'll update you if we learn more. Meanwhile, 2 people were injured when a Midland ISD school bus crashed this morning. City of Midland officials say this happened at South County Road 1232 and County Road 132. You can see here on a map exactly where that is. They say the 2 people injured were both MISD employees. The city says they were taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and we're also told that no students were on the bus when it crashed. We're still trying to learn what caused this crash. We'll keep you updated. And it's been a hot topic lately, drones. And some of you may have noticed drones around the area. The Ector County Sheriff's Office has confirmed these are ECSO's drones. Slightly larger in size, they're used for public safety across the area. Odessa Police, Odessa Fire, UTPB, and the West Odessa Volunteer Fire Department also have drone teams. We have good news for drivers in Midland, Odessa, as gas prices have dropped to their lowest in 3 years. According to Gas Buddy, prices in Midland, Odessa have fallen 12 cents this week, bringing the average to $2.51 a gallon. Gas prices in Midland and Odessa are usually higher than the national average. This drop makes us substantially lower than usual. Looking ahead, experts say we may see this trend continue into the holiday season and into next year, but there's no guarantee. One thing is for sure, though, it's a great time to budget for gas.
If you're budget somewhere around $3 per gallon of gas. Most consumers use about 1,000 gallons of gasoline a year. So, I think that's a good budget number to use. And hopefully that'll be a little bit high and you'll have some extra money next Christmas.
In other Texas cities, Lubbock's gas prices rose to $2.43 per gallon. Amarillo's at $2.39 and the state average dropped to $2.49. It's time now to take a look at your weather forecast. It's looking like it's going to be a really nice week while we all prepare for the holidays. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller. Tom?
Yeah, temperatures are going to be up and down a little bit, but overall, though, pretty quiet weather all the way through Christmas. Let's go ahead and take a look at your first alert. That's what we're talking about. We're going to see another cold front in the middle part of the week, but overall, I think great holiday travel weather is on the way here across West Texas. As temperatures today, usually about 59 degrees. Well, we were up there into the mid 60s, nearing 70 out towards Midland Air Park, 64 out at the Miller National Air and Spaceport, but 70s down towards Monahans, Fort Stockton, and 69 in Big Spring. So great conditions out there. A little cooler this evening. As we look at Odessa, temperatures have dropped off into the mid to upper 40s out there, but already 39 up towards Hobbs. As winds have been out of the northeast, rather light across the area, and they're going to lighten up overnight tonight as we're going to see a cold one and temperatures dropping down into the mid 30s. Tomorrow, though, a little bit of a warm up. We'll talk more about that and show you the rest of the forecast. Again, it's going to be up and down coming up here in the next few days.
ECISD wants the community to give their opinions with a survey on communication. They'd like to know how guardians prefer to get their information about the district and what they think is most important to communicate. You can find links to the survey in both English and Spanish on FirstAlert7.com. UT Permian Basin is rolling out some upgrades to their virtual tour. It's now completely customizable. First introduced last year, the online tour has been a huge success with over 4,000 visitors from incoming freshmen to possible graduate students using the website. They say it's been a great recruiting tool for those looking from across the state and even for those located right here at home. The page is constantly updated with new photos and information about the campus and all of its features. Plus, it's available 24/7, so no matter when you choose to look, you're getting an in-depth tour of your own choosing.
You can explore campus. If you're interested in art, check out the art gallery and check out our art spaces. If you're interested in engineering, take a look and a deep dive in a lab to see where you might be studying. You can really customize your experience based on your interests.
The tour is available in both English and Spanish. The City of Midland activated a new set of traffic lights this morning. The new lights are located on the north side of town at North Big Spring Street and Occidental Parkway. Councilman Scott Dufford was there to flip the switch to officially turn them on.
The reason we've seen an explosion of traffic signals or more traffic signals going up throughout our community is because we're growing at a rapid pace. And so where traffic signals are warranted, we will get those up just as fast as we possibly can, because our first commitment as a council is to make our city safer and to make our roads safer for all of our citizens.
You may remember back in November, the City of Midland activated two sets of lights, one set at the intersection of Lamesa and Gist, and the other at Mockingbird and Stonebridge. According to the city, another set of traffic lights will be activated soon at the intersection of Duval Boulevard and Avalon Drive. A local business owner is showing appreciation to those who serve our community by offering a free carport to veterans and first responders. Jacob Martinez, the owner of CIK Builds, has been in business for about a year. Martinez is committed to giving back to veterans and first responders and hopes to make their daily lives a little easier. That's why he's giving away a free 20 by 20 carport that holds up to 2 cars. Martinez says he wants this giveaway to bring back hope to humanity.
This is just my way of just saying, hey, thank you so much. I never met you, but you know, we're the outsiders looking in and we appreciate everything you guys do.
If you're watching and you're a veteran or a first responder, there's still time to enter the giveaway. Just follow CIK Build's Facebook page and then tag yourself or a fellow veteran or first responder. The winner of the giveaway will be announced in the first week of January. Today, the State Farm office of Filiberto Gonzalez had their grand reopening and celebrated 16 years of being in business. Back in May, a car crashed into the old building, and they've been working to rebuild it ever since. The new building includes some upgrades like a new window wall, and there are plans to be a barrier between the building and the road now. You may remember a car crashed into the building, and that's why they had to rebuild. Filiberto says the new building is a great chance for a new beginning, and he jokes that now he can pull from his own experiences.
I really had to go back and listen to the words that I said, and that's what kept me going. I was like, okay, this is not the end. If anything, it's the beginning.
He also says he's excited to get back to helping the community that has helped him out through this time of rebuilding. And it's the time of year for giving, and the team at Team 7, at Rough House MMA has filled a boxing ring for their second annual fundraiser. This fundraiser supplies both Harmony Home and the Crisis Center of West Texas with year-round needs, whether that's with monetary donations or physical things. This year, they've collected $6,500 worth of items, a $500 increase from last year. Those items include toys, hygiene products, and clothing. And during the holiday season, it serves as a Christmas closet.
Basically, what we do is we allow our clients to come into what we call our holiday store, and what it is they basically shop for presents for themselves and their kids without paying for anything.
These donations help everyone in the community enjoy the holidays, no matter the situation they're in. The Midland County Sheriff's Office is hosting their annual Christmas at the Horseshoe tomorrow night. The event at the Midland County Horseshoe is free for everyone and doors open at 4:30. There will be hot cocoa, free gifts, a Christmas show, and photos with Santa. And if you're traveling during the holidays, it is important to know what you can and cannot bring on a flight. If you're traveling with young kids, there are plenty of resources also to help you get through the airport. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan breaks down the do's and don'ts for holiday travelers.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, but if you're traveling, the holiday season can bring unwanted headaches. And there will be a record number of travelers on the road and in the skies. AAA is expecting more than 119 million people to travel 50 miles or more between Saturday, December 21st and Wednesday, January 1st. Nearly 8 million people will fly, so expect long lines.
If you are checking a bag, I would get to the airport at least 2.5 hours early.
If you need assistance getting through security, and this includes young families, you can request help 72 hours ahead of your trip by filling out a TSA Cares assistance form. People who need assistance and families with kids under 2 can typically board first.
Usually the first people to get called are people who need more time to board.
What happens if your family isn't sitting together?
The gate agent is going to make that change automatically because they're going to see that minors are sitting separately from their guardians.
Many airports also have family restrooms, nursing stations, and even kid play areas to make it easier for families. And parents can bring breast milk and/or formula greater than 3.4 ounces on board. If you're bringing gifts on the plane, the TSA recommends putting them in gift bags instead of wrapping them in case the item needs to be inspected. Gifting a snow globe, if it's bigger than a tennis ball, it likely has more than 3.4 ounces of liquid and needs to be checked. Solid foods like fruitcake, chocolate, and candy canes can all go on board. Items like wine and even maple syrup need to be checked. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Coming up, lawmakers speak at the EPA about how to improve U.S. drinking water. Stay with us. Lawmakers and Biden administration officials gathered in the nation's capital to talk about ways to improve the nation's drinking water. The discussion happened at a celebration of the 50-year anniversary of the Safe Drinking Water Act. Our Washington News Bureau correspondent Brendan Cullerton reports from the EPA.
The EPA says the U.S. has made tremendous strides providing water since Gerald Ford signed the Safe Drinking Water Act of 1974, but the agency believes there is still much more work to do. Before the Safe Drinking Water Act, the EPA was not able to set national standards for drinking water sources across the country. The EPA says between the act signing and today, the agency has fought many battles to provide safe water.
Water is life. It reflects the fact that safe drinking water is a universal necessity.
Congressman Dan Kildee notes those battles have not come without losses, like the situation in his district with lead in the Flint, Michigan water system.
Let me just be clear. The Flint water crisis is not history. It was 10 years ago, but it's not over.
The EPA says it is still making improvements, both in replacing lead laterals and creating new national standards to regulate toxic chemicals known as PFAS.
This rule will protect 100 million Americans from exposure to PFAS that can cause deadly cancer, that can cause liver and heart issues, and significant impacts to the development of children.
The EPA will have new leadership when Donald Trump takes office. The president-elect has nominated former New York Congressman Lee Zeldin to direct the agency.
We cannot let any future administration cut dollars for taking lead out of every drinking pipe in America.
Zeldin has said he plans to bring back American jobs while maintaining access to clean air and water. In Washington, I'm Brendan Cullerton.
Well, we are going to be looking at some temperatures, ups and downs, kind of a roller coaster here over the next few days. We'll talk about all that and look at that forecast. The early look at Christmas is coming up next.
Now, from the First Alert 7 Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, let's take a look outside at Starbright Village right now. We have our camera over there showing you some great conditions out there at Starbright Village. Now, this is located at McKinney Park in Odessa. You can drive through or walk through and see all the lights and displays from now through December 29th. Usually the evenings are fantastic because it's a little bit cool and it's a great time of the year to see everything lit up. About 49 degrees right now over there at McKinney Park. So try to get out there and enjoy that here over the next couple of weeks. Weather makers right now, we are seeing that we do have another storm system starting to move in across the Intermountain West and the West Coast. This is going to swing another cold front through, but it's going to hold off until Wednesday morning before we see it. We're going to have to let this system pass to our north. But overall, though, this west to east flow in the upper levels of the atmosphere is a dry flow, and we're not seeing anything in the way of any significant moisture or anything to kick off any moisture, to kick off some rain showers or anything else. Everything's been off to the east with the better Gulf moisture. A lot of storms from around I would say Texarkana over towards New Boston, down towards the Terrell area, and just now moving out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area at the present time and moving off to the east and northeast. The individual storms as the line pushes east. Back towards West Texas, we saw a cool front move through and kept temperatures down a little bit today. Not too bad, though. A little bit above where we should be this time of year. Usually it's about 59 is what we see. We're seeing 64 for the afternoon high there. 55 in Amarillo. They got the front a little bit earlier, so they saw some of the cooling effects. But look at the warmth ahead of that front, though, into the 80s across central and South Texas today. We had a couple of 80s along the Rio Grande a little bit earlier, and close enough with 78 in Fort Stockton. Now, we are going to see a return of southerly winds very quickly, so some Gulf moisture could move back in towards the morning hours. I think it's just going to be clouds. I really don't see a lot in the way of fog out there, but keep that in mind that a patch or two of fog will be possible. Some high clouds streaming across tomorrow, and as we move the clock ahead towards Wednesday, there's that front. May see a little fog develop ahead of it first thing in the morning, but that front's going to whip through, and by 8, 9 o'clock, we're going to see clearing skies as a gusty north wind moves across with some chillier air into the area. So for the rest of tonight, it is going to be cold, light freeze up towards Andrews, Hobbs, Carlsbad, even Pecos coming in with 29 degrees first thing in the morning. And tomorrow afternoon, we'll see temperatures rebound nicely, nearing 80 down towards Fort Stockton. Mid to upper 60s across the Midland, Odessa area. So not too bad a day. Be about 10 degrees cooler behind that front on Wednesday, and then back up 10 degrees on Thursday. So you can see the temperatures ups and downs will continue into the weekend and the start of the winter season. Moving into next week, Christmas week, weather's going to continue to be nice, and right now looking rather mild and temperatures above normal for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
The Madison, Wisconsin community is mourning after a person opened fire at the Abundant Life Christian School. It is the 83rd school shooting in the U.S. so far this year. That's according to CNN's analysis of events reported by the Gun Violence Archive, Education Week, and Everytown for Gun Safety. 27 shootings happened on university and college campuses. 56 were on K-12 school grounds. Ivan Rodriguez joins us live from Madison, where this latest tragedy took place.
The shooter was a 17-year-old female student at the school and died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to a law enforcement source. She was found dead inside of the school when police arrived. Not only did a teacher and a student die, but 6 others were also injured and 2 students remain in critical condition. The entire community here has been rocked by this latest school shooting.
I hoped that this day would never come in Madison.
At least 2 lives taken, a student and teacher, after a shooter opened fire at a private Christian school Monday morning.
Of the 6 injured and taken to local hospitals, 2 students remain in critical condition. Their injuries are life-threatening. A teacher and 3 other students were taken to area hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. 2 of those victims, 2 of those survivors, have been released from the hospital.
The alleged shooter, a teenage student who police say attended Abundant Life Christian School, found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside the building.
These are horrific crime scenes.
According to a law enforcement source, the alleged shooter used a 9mm gun.
We know it was a handgun. We know a handgun was recovered.
Police say they never fired their weapons. As an investigation gets underway to uncover the why of this tragedy, Madison officials call for more to be done to save lives.
I am on record that I think we need to do better in our country and our community to prevent gun violence.
The Madison police chief also making it clear that school shootings affect him personally, as he was a public school teacher in the 90s.
I think we can all agree that enough is enough, and we have to come together to do everything we can to support our students, to prevent press conferences like these from happening again and again and again.
We're now learning that the shooter planned the attack in advance, according to a law enforcement source familiar with the investigation. The source indicated that information gathered during the investigation suggests that the shooter had been dealing with problems and expressed some of those in writings that are now being reviewed by detectives. The family of the shooter is also being interviewed by those very same detectives with Madison PD. In Madison, Wisconsin, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
That's all the time we have left here at 9 o'clock. Thanks for joining us. We've got more news coming up tonight on First Alert 7 News at 10.